Welcome back LCD watch fans to Vintage Digital Watches. Today we are doing an episode that caters to the sources of digital watches. What do we use when we want to search for a digital watch? And a few tips and tricks. So let's get straight to it with source number one, eBay. Well, of course eBay. eBay's big advantage is that it's already an established source for buying and selling worldwide. So you are actually accessing the entire resource of digital watches, people that want to buy and sell internationally. And it also has every built-in mechanism, buyer protection, you can use PayPal, seller ratings, and the list goes on and on. So there are a lot of advantages. A few disadvantages, the biggest one is that you are competing with everyone else that is using eBay, so the prices will factor into that, meaning that there will be collector prices. A few tricks for buying on eBay would be to know what you are buying. Maybe you have a specific setting that you are interested if it works or not, and maybe the person that is selling isn't describing that setting. So make sure you open a dialogue with the seller, ask him everything you want to know. Another tip would be not to be afraid to make an offer. eBay already has this mechanism making an offer built in, but if the auction is buy it now, don't be afraid to contact the seller and make him a decent offer. Another very obvious tip is to look at the seller rating. Use sellers that have good ratings. Also, eBay has an app. Use that app because you will stay up to date with new items that go into your feed, with the status of the items you are watching. You can track with it, and the list goes on. The thing that I like to do is to look at the other eBay sites. You know that there is ebay.com, ebay.co.uk, there is a German site, ebay.de, a French site, a Spanish site, an Italian site, and I don't think that's the entire list. Yeah, there is an Australian site. Make sure you also check out those websites, and if you do a search, let's say on eBay France, then use French terms, because eBay, although has a built-in translation mechanism, I don't know if it covers all the words. For example, if you are searching for scientific calculator watch on ebay.com, on ebay.de you may find different results if you go ahead and translate scientific calculator watch in German and use that phrase on the German site. So use the local words. You will be surprised how many results you will hit. And another thing, eBay has saved searches. So what this means is that if you type in a search, you check all the things that you're interested in, maybe a range of price, maybe you want a used item, maybe new without tags, and so on. When you do that search, you have the option to check save this search, which means next time you will go to ebay.com, on the first web page you will have your feed, and if there are new products matching your search, they will be directly posted on your wall. In my case, I maxed out the eBay saved search, and it helped me countless times to quickly find the watches that I was looking for, because competition is fierce on eBay. I believe you have, I think, around 100 saved searches and so on, so it is finite. That's it for eBay. Remember, the important thing is that it does cover the entire globe, but you will have everybody else competing with you, and the prices do tend to be a little bit higher. The next digital watch source would be the Yahoo Auction sites, which you can access through proxy servers. For example, Yahoo Auction Japan, which I think it's jows.com. And what I mean by proxy services is that what they do is actually they buy for you from that country, from Japan, and then they ship it to their warehouse, and from that point they repackage it and ship it to your location. The downside to proxy services is that there are a lot of fees and taxes involved. There's a shipping fee from the seller's house to the warehouse and then onwards to your location. There are bank transfer fees. and a lot of fees. And one good thing that Yahoo Auction Japan is that they have a fee calculator, so you know what you're getting yourself into, and there are multiple shipping options from their warehouse to your location. A good tip for Yahoo Auction Japan is to use a translator, and actually Jaws.com has one built in, because many of the listings are in Japanese, so you have an option to translate it into English, just so you have an impression of what you are buying. And remember that bidding is a little bit different from eBay, in the sense that some items do have the buy it now option, but bidding, if for example it goes down to the last second, there is a specific price, and in the last second somebody else bids, then the time is extended up until the bidders have decided that they don't want to bid anymore, and the last person bidding wins. So that's Yahoo Auction Japan. The thing that I like most about it is the fact that it is in the motherland of digital watches, Japan. Many of the watches listed there are actually in pristine condition, so go ahead and use it with confidence, but do take in mind all of those fees and taxes. Going on with source number 3 is actually different websites, general buy and sell websites. And we have Gumtree, Craigslist. Another good one is Etsy.com, and I did actually see a seller there, Uncle Watch, that is selling a lot of nice watches. Go ahead and check out these websites. They are not as popular as eBay, but for example Craigslist is very popular in the US, and there are a few examples of digital watches that you can get there. Source number 4 is forums. Now there are a lot of watch forums, some more famous than others, and usually they do have a special directory that caters to buying and selling. Buying on forums is indicated because people there usually are collectors and experts, and you can ask questions, get a conversation going, so usually you do know what you are buying, but again, expect higher prices. Some forums are dedicated to watches in general, like What You Seek, the Watch Forum, but there are also dedicated forums for digital watches, like the New Digital Watch Forum or Pocket Calculator Show, and so on. A tip here would be to use Google search to find forums, because there might be smaller forums other than these famous ones, or even country-specific forums if you do want to make the effort and search in a different language. Going on with source number 5 is dedicated websites that sell digital watches. Yes, there are a few of these, and they are usually sellers that ship worldwide. So a few of them that I found, I've never used one before. Well, actually one of them, but it wasn't to buy a watch, it was to buy a strap. So I can say that the process worked flawlessly in that case. And a few websites are VintageDigitalWatches.com, retro-watches.co.uk, and Bangkok Junkman. The last one is the one that I used. I bought a strap from him, and the process went smooth. These are sellers that they know what they are selling. It's convenient for you because there will be no other items than digital watches, so searching through the website will be straightforward and easy. And we are at number 6, which is my favorite way of searching for watches, and most of my collection didn't get built up on using this one, but I did find my holy grail watch using this search, and it's actually the web search, and specifically the image search. What you can do is go into Google and type the watch that you are looking for, and go into the image search. You will see that there are a lot of images from sites that buy and sell, like eBay or dedicated websites or forums and so on. But every now and then you have somebody posting a picture of that watch, maybe on Instagram, maybe on his blog, and it's not actually meant as a buy and sell, but maybe he describes a few more watches, or there's an article and somehow that watch is mentioned in the article. And if you're lucky enough, that person who wrote that actually has the watch in his possession. Now what you can do is reach out to that person, write them an email, get in contact with them on their blog or whatever, and ask if they still have that watch and if it is for sale. But don't lowball them if you want to make them an offer. Maybe that person knows the value of the watch, he actually chose not to sell it. So be polite, make a different offer, get a conversation going, and you might be lucky enough to walk away with your favorite watch. But this also has its risks, because you don't have any buyer protection. You are trusting the person that you are talking to ship that watch, and for sure they won't accept anything else but for you to pay first, and then they will ship. So this is why I always recommend to start the conversation first. Get to know the person that you are buying from. Make a compliment on their article. Try to get them to open up, just so you know who you're dealing with. And usually, from my experience, there are nice people, and you can trust them. That's it for today's video. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I am curious to see what other resources you use to find your digital watches. It would be good if you would help with comments down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. It helps me quite a bit. And until next time, wear your geeky digital watches. But I'm not wearing one, because they're all here.